The story begins as Shintaro is being spoken about his choosing. It is then revealed that he is being offered to either go to heaven or go to hell. With intrigued eyes looking down on him, both sides are desperately waiting for his answer. This all started as a few hours ago Shintaro was loudly playing games, being enraged towards his noob teammates. Upon seeing his game character perished, he became even more enraged towards them. This causes him to become hysterical, smashing his desk and rocking back and forth. He manages to stumble off his chair, causing it to fall, leaving him in shock. As he fell down behind him, he got up with pain on his sides. He seemingly thought he was gonna pass away, but for a brief moment of looking up he saw a dimensional circle that formed on the other side were a bunch of manly demons wearing a suit and tie. Upon glancing at them, the demon suddenly mentioned seeing angels. He turned to his back, causing the angels to also mention seeing demons, as they seemingly got interrupted on their tea time. With each of the opposing side questioning the sudden attack and stepping onto their own domain, both sides showed hostility towards one another. The two seemingly fought facing one another, but they suddenly got surprised as they somehow ended up in the human world. We then transitioned back to the Hell Company in the underworld. Here the occurrence is being explained as a dimensional rift form being created by a collection of interdimensional distortions. This somehow was caused by one human. The members questioned if it's even possible to do so. She thoroughly explained it's not, when all the right variables like humidity, precise vibrations being combined. If so, very rarely a dimensional rift can occur. The other members are amazed that a human managed to open a hole both heaven and hell. They suddenly got interrupted as someone exclaims of the phenomenon being amazing. It is revealed that the Satan himself attended the meeting, asking everyone to listen, as before the heavenly war they all set a vow to not set foot in the human world. But right now this is a good opportunity. Satan states that there aren't any rules stating about dimensional rifts. This gives them a chance to lay their hands on them. He exclaims if he ever got the chance to get his hands on the human body, they could use it to operate in the human world. This would result in them ruling over the whole world using his body. The directors agreed, as this would give them the opportunity to also have humans be under their control, and it would result in heaven collapsing. The board members showed signs of enthusiasm as it's time for a comeback, asking everyone to put their priority on checking the human guy and making a contract. With high spirits, both heaven and hell's representative is sent to Shintaro's room. He still is shocked to the events unfolding, not believing what his eyes see. Satan introduces himself, slowly describing Shintaro being born in the Shia prefecture, and the only son of a humble couple. Met with tragedy, his life took a turn, leaving his mother to raise by herself, with nothing interesting going on with his life. He left home starting to live alone, but all he does now is stay in his room doing nothing, which in others is a complete shut-in. They got to the main topic, asking him to sell his soul to them, showing a contract at hand to Shintaro. They described appropriate compensation, giving him the most perfect and beautiful body in hell. As such, they would also invite him to the greatest party that they are proud of, promising to give him eternal pleasure. They also hinted that it's nothing compared to this world. With the contract in hand, they eagerly waiting for him to sign the contract. They also questioned if he doesn't have any regrets in the human world. They showcased hell being free of worry and can enjoy his life over there. Shintaro stands in silence reading the contract. They perceived him not being able to comprehend and keep up using human common sense. But Shintaro, on the other hand, is excited, showing his excitement finally having the another world event of him being iced. He exclaims of bidding farewell to this cruel word, cursing the people that mocked him. He immediately wanted to sign the contract, shocking Satan himself. With glittering eyes he then took out the pen, but is stopped by an angel asking Shintaro to not be deceived, as hell is never a good place to begin with. She describes its being dark and dreary, being forever shut, as such he shall never go there. Satan is shocked seeing the angel intervene with his plans. All along, the Heaven Association also planned this in mind. With the chance they could spread God's love to the world, the heavenly representative eagerly presented her card and talks bad about hell. She showed case coming into heaven as he won't ever regret his decision. Upon showing her team of heavenly representatives, Shintaro is immediately mesmerized. The Devil Corporation gets cursed, being called hopeless by the Heaven Association for not evolving in line with the global society. Shintaro's focus was put on to the heavens being pampered and cater. The heavenly angels comforted him, seeing as how he spent so much time coped up. His heart races as he slowly heals. He gets questioned if he wants to come to heaven. Upon looking up, he saw the angels putting up clothespin on their noses. This made Shintaro question their reasoning, which they revealed being sensitive to the smell, asking him to not open his mouth. He stared at them blankly, not believing that angels acted like this. With the feeling of being embarrassed, he turned to the sides, evading the angels. The devils called them out for being helpless. They eagerly tried their best, showcasing the exciting and interesting things he could do over at hell. As he was looking at the mirror, he suddenly recognized Hashimoto Ayano. This woman is the same girl who threw her eraser when he picked it up way back junior high. They called out the terrible person she was towards his kindness. Far from being grateful he was met with such cruel fate, the devils made him hold a glass of water and throwing it onto her through the mirror. This shocked Shintaro, as Ayano was doused in water seemingly out of nowhere in the comfort of her room. With this in mind, the magical tool allows him to interfere with the person he's trying to investigate. The devil whispered in his ears as he could do whatever he desires, even as far on taking revenge on who hurt him. Shintaro seems convinced, as hell is good for a person like him, deserving of being put inside of it. Shintaro ponders why, which the directors revealed that he doused babies 3 times to appease his desires, although he couldn't. With this shocking revelation, Shintaro is left baffled hearing this. They continued to downsize him even more, talking bad that he has strong anger and jealousy towards society while thinking about his circumstances are the results of the world. They also put the icing of him being lazy and proud that in his head he is a victim. With this mind, he also heard that he is greedy enough to even ask his own mother for money. The president of hell showed confusion upon hearing his subordinate's words, which it continues that he never earned money of his own, living by his mother's money. This resulted in his mother shouldering debt without his knowledge, calling him out a parasite and laughing about it as they praised him for being fit in hell. This left Shintaro to be even more depressed and shocked hearing their words, leaving him to be gloomy all of a sudden. Satan's subordinates were immediately punished, being kicked for their unnecessary words towards the human. They asked for forgiveness while facing their heads towards the ground. The angel questions if Shintaro is alright, comforting him. He still ponders about his mother's debt. The angel named Michael revealed that it's been 4 years his mother borrowed ever since. Due to this, she has been restlessly working every single day to pay it off. Shintaro feels bad, although the angel tried comforting Shintaro to not feel bad and not push the blame on him. This made him felt bad all of a sudden, exclaiming he's also a victim as well and it's not his fault for being born like this. Due to tragic events of his dad passing away early and for his family not being financially secured, he exclaims as it's not his fault. The world where success and failure is determined by birth is just purely wrong at this point. People judge based on a person's look and ignoring them when one doesn't suit their taste. He also exclaims that even though they don't know him as a person, they make fun of him and also teases him. The angel agrees as the word is a cruel place, giving the suggestion that he should sign the contract, as with just a signature she will let him get out of this cruel world and come to heaven with no pain. With the contract stating that his body will belong to them, with Shintaro not having any second thoughts, immediately signed the contract, shocking the demon side. For a brief second the world suddenly turned full of clouds and is filled with serenity and silence. Shintaro at first was shocked to see the place he's standing, as he was just floating in the sky. The sudden words could be heard asking him to not be so barbaric. With a confused look on his face, the angel questions his identity. Shortly after, he questioned if this was heaven, to which the short angel explains that heaven is a place where only the best memories are replayed forever. In short, for Shintaro, the best memory he has was the days spent in his room. The angel suggests it must be nice, as this will set him free from sorcery and the guilt from his mother. Shintaro is shocked to hear this, as this isn't what's stated in the contract. He exclaims this isn't any different from his usual life. He exclaims of canceling the contract and going home as his best memory isn't this, pointing out its ridiculousness. The angel explains that there is no such thing as going home, as it's clearly stated that he is Shintaro, the one who signed the contract, where a soul that enters heaven once can never return to the human world. His memories suddenly played out where he sat down watching his story on the computer. The video shows Shintaro at the age of 4 years old catching insects, with life full of energy and being always confident to do anything, but this soon took a turn when he reached the age of 14 years. Showing his cruel situation as no matter how hard the guys with no talent try, they could never get in first place. With an ugly face and being poor but also no talent, he only had a life of failure ever since the moment he was born. With mangakas knowing their place and ugly girls not being able to pursue being an idol, nor how much one study, you can never beat the rich. He ponders why aren't they all on equal footing, knowing one's place and not doing anything is the wiser. When he tried applying for a company, they noticed he didn't had any career history nor work experience. Without thinking much, as it was a small company, he thought it would be fine, but in the end he failed. This left him to ponder as to see why struggling is useless, and it's a waste of effort and time. In the end, all he was left was a life wasted, leading to a life coming to a close. Shintaro ponders if this is really his life, laughing out loud, being happy about the idea that this is heaven and he could eternally enjoy himself doing whatever he wants, not having to do anything in his life other than enjoy it while sitting in his chair. This suddenly made him realize his sad reality, crying about his sad life. We are then introduced to a mysterious figure standing behind him. A voice could be heard stating that the room is awful. Shintaro questioned his identity, but the man invites him for a walk. As the two headed out, Shintaro stumbles upon an amusement park. The man introduces it as the room of a child who passed away due to an accident at the amusement park. The man called it ironic, as losing one's life and remembering one's best memories are one and the same. Shintaro understood this, where multiple people met their fates and reliving their best memories. As Shintaro keeps hearing the fates of the people in heaven, he exclaims of having enough hearing all of these. He questions why is the man showing something like this. He explains that he already lived a life that hasn't been right, and everyone has lived a meaningful one. He ponders if that was his point all along. He became even more enraged and confused, as all his life he has only been thinking about him. Even though he didn't do anything, he put the blame on the world and his parents, avoiding his wrongdoings. When he finally escaped, he can't help it. He ponders what he should do, asking for answers. A small version of baby Shintaro showed up. A scene played out where his mother and calling out his husband. Upon realizing it was a scene of his parents, this shocked him, as the man who turned out to be his father revealed that this was the happiest moment in his life. Being proud of his son, he dotes on him and reveals his plans when he grew up, making lots of memories and making friends. Even though he wasn't sure on seeing it, he is confident enough that he would find his own path. Although his life ends here, he will forever watch him, although he is worried of not being able to see him grow. But standing in front of him is the grown Shintaro. The world suddenly cracked as a voice could be heard of the contract not being accepted. His time was short-lived as he gets sucked back to the human world. His father bids him farewell, then king him as he flies away from the memories of his dad for being born into the world. As he got back, the whole room was chaotic, as it's revealed that Satan ripped his contract. The angels became enraged, asking if Satan went crazy breaking the sacred contract. They questioned his intentions, although Satan is confident as contracts made in heaven have no effect on them. Doing unreasonable things on the human world, they ponder about the consequence. A sudden problem also arose as Shintaro escaped from the room, shocking the Hell and Heaven Association. Shintaro is outside running at full speed, breathing in the freedom, and remembering the sad but fun memories growing up, crying with tears of joy and screaming at the top of his lungs. Shortly after, it's revealed that the person on the apartment rushed to vacate his room, explaining that he was to go back to his hometown and start over. The woman envies someone like that, even though he'd do her best every day. Her phone suddenly flooded with payments and rent. She ponders, staring blankly at the door, wondering how long her life will last. She wants to be somewhere where no one knows her. Upon opening the door, she became faced with a room full of angels and devils playing mahjong. The new tenant became shocked and anxious as they are eager to welcome her. Shintaro, on the other hand, went back to his hometown and helped his mother around with the family business, eager to do something and change his life. With the end finally coming, as he treasures the changes in his life that he made, even though it's late far now.